This is Joe Pugh for IFLTV. We are here at the Hyatt. It seems only, days ago, but in fact it was a couple of weeks ago, that we was last here. And this is a big one. As far as Friday night boxing goes at the York Hall, it doesn't really get much bigger than this. EBU European title between Sam Noes and Seglia. Sam Noes' first defence of that title. He won last time out, and it's a really good fight. It is a really good fight, and yeah, Dev, sell it to me, mate.
Nice to see you, Joe. Listen, yeah, it's a good fight. Sam Noes he's one of the most exciting fighters in the country. He had this streak. This streak was mental, 13-0 with 13 knockouts, and he's just been extended the distance for the first time against Yvonne Mendy. But he 120-108'd Yvonne Mendy. Nobody does that to him. Over the years, he was a bit older now, but Luke Campbell never 120-108'd him. Dennis Baranchik, a couple of fights beforehand, who's now world champion, he had a more difficult fight. So Sam Noes showed his class in that last fight. He's got a mandatory challenger here. Noes says that he wants to get his streak going again, wants to get the knockout streak going. But this fella that he's fighting, he's only been stopped once, 10 years ago, at a higher weight. So if you're going to get the streak going again against this fella, it's a bit of a statement. So it's a good fight, and it's just good to see Sam Noes out there defending that. Do you know how good he is? I mean, look a couple of fights ago, he didn't have the British title, he didn't have the European title. Within the space of 2 fights, over like a couple of months, he suddenly became British, European, he's got Commonwealth, WBO International, he's got so many belts, and I think he's going all the way, mate. So yeah, tune in.
This is not me criticising one bit, but...
I should hope not.
No, you don't know where I'm going with this, actually. You don't know where I'm going with this. But with a lot of Brits heading to the Riyadh season card, it feels like there's a real space for someone like Sam Noes to kind of take that big British name spot, defending his title, growing in the UK, and really push that and make him a star.
I think all these fighters have just got to keep winning, and that's what they are doing. Mark Chamberlain just kept on winning, and you keep winning, you never know who's going to be watching you, right? Mark Chamberlain had probably the hardest fight of his career at York Hall. His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh was watching it and thought, I liked a bit of Mark Chamberlain, and now he's over in Riyadh and boxing at Wembley Stadium. Sam Noes in his lane, doing his thing, knocking people out. Hopefully they're on a collision course, and I think everywhere you look, not just in the Queensbury stable, but in Matchroom stable as well, you can see fighters coming through who are really going to take the mantle and become stars in this country.
Does it feel like that fight is 1 or 2 fights away, or does it feel like it's a bit more later down the line?
I don't know, because I asked Sam Noes this, and he said he thinks it's closer than ever. So who knows? I want it to happen at some stage. You need that. You need Sam Noes, one corner of the ring, stood behind him, Francis Warren. You need Mark Chamberlain, the other corner of the ring, stood behind him, Frank Warren. It's Warren versus Warren. It's such a good fight, such an added layer. What a random thing to be happening. It's like, I was going to say Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, but you can't really do that anymore, can you? Because he got cancelled. Probably rightly so from what I hear. But look, brilliant fight one day, hopefully it happens.
Does the fight happen? Is it more likely to happen if they both have a world title?
I don't know, but I don't think either of them are particularly far off a world title. Like, in terms of positioning and in terms of performance. So they're both well ranked with the governing bodies, and performance-wise, look at what Sam Noes did to Yvonne Mendy. Dennis Baranchik didn't do that to Yvonne Mendy, and he's a world champion. There's other routes they can go as well, but I feel like it's inevitable that they could both become world champions.
Also on the card, Masood Abdullah, who's really going from strength to strength in his last 2 fights. Leach, Ashfaq. Now we've got Stewart, vacant Commonwealth title on the line.
Yeah, we have.
Stop drinking. Don't drink. You're not allowed to drink on IFL.
Don't drink, kids.
This is vodka. No.
Okay. What was he? Masood, mate. Masood's so good. Like, his last 2 fights, he's knocking out guys that don't get knocked out. Mark Leach, he don't get knocked out. Who knocks out Mark Leach? Masood Abdullah knocks out Mark Leach. What about Kas Ashfaq? He's brilliant amateur. no one knocks him out. Someone does knock him out. Masood Abdullah. That's what he does, and he's on a bit of a charge in this featherweight division. And we're doing well for featherweights. At the very top end, you've got Nick Ball, who should be the unified champion. Nathaniel Collins is sort of knocking about European level. And then Masood is surging up, and he'll be there before long. Good fight for him, unbeaten guy, and a chance to become the Commonwealth champion. And I think that'll be the first of many belts in his career.
Yeah, great card from top to bottom tomorrow. Charlie Hickford, Luke McCormack, Christian Fetty. Don't miss it, live from 7 p.m. TNT Sport. That right there?
Come on, correct. 7 o'clock TNT Sports. And yeah, those top two fights in particular are crackers, and it will be good to see Luke McCormack. Luke McCormack, he needs to start getting going now. He's 1-0. Right, this will be 2-0 presumably, and he's one of the best talents that we've got in this country. So tune in for him. You know what his brother's all about. He's really good as well. So tune in and let's get on the Luke McCormack hype train.
Dev, you've been a very busy man as always. Great interview with Daniel Dubois.
Do you like that one?
It feels like there's a real intensity about Daniel that's different to other fights.
What was intense was after about 5 minutes, he goes, "I want to go home." Like 5 minutes into mine, I've got all these questions written down. Daniel, I've been up all night. I've been watching your interviews, and, you know. But it was good. It was good. He once he got into it a little bit more, he said some good things. He reacted to the AJ saying, "Don't disrespect me, Daniel," and all of that. He come up with this line, which I think could be used across boxing for many years. He said, "If you want respect, become a lawyer." What a line! What a bar from Daniel Dubois. But yeah, look, he was good, and he looks focused, and it looks like a really like a camp where they're just having fun as well. There's focus, obviously, you know. But for the first time, I've gone into a Daniel Dubois gym, and I've, you know, across all of his career, I've followed him. And this was the first time I've seen him in the ring doing pads, and just in between, smiling and doing an Ali shuffle. That's Daniel Dubois. That's what he was doing, just having a laugh. So enjoyed it, and you'll see. It's his birthday tomorrow. 27 years old, and we did a little.
I think he's only 27.
Only 27, and the experience that he's got. And I'll talk about that, but it's his birthday. We did a little birthday cake thing, which will come out on social tomorrow. But he's in good form. We talk about his experience, right? He's now in this place where he is young and experienced. People aren't really talking about how experienced he's become. He's not just like this kid who's wet behind the ears. He's had ups, he's had downs, he's had highs, he's had lows. People talking about boxing in stadiums. Hey, he's boxed in stadiums. He's been a main event in a stadium. He's lost in a stadium against Usyk. He's won in a stadium against Kevin Lerena. He's been down and he's come back up. He's gone through adversity. These are experience points, and he's also boxing at the highest level right now. The last few fights, who does this in the space of 13 months? Alexander Usyk, Jarrell Miller, unbeaten. Filip Hrgovic, unbeaten bogeyman who everyone's avoiding. And then Anthony Joshua. Those 4 fights, that's an incredible thing for someone who's 25, 26, 27 years old. He's, as he said to me in the interview, put some respect on his name.
Is there, apart excluding Alexander Usyk, is there a fighter in the heavyweight division with a better last 2 fights on his resume?
Look, he's right up there. Look, Parker's doing very well as well. You know, there are heavyweights because, you know, largely of what is going on with Riyadh's season. These heavyweights are fighting. So there's actually a number of heavyweights who are putting together a good little streak. Look what Ajit Kabayal's doing as well. All excellent stuff. But Daniel Dubois, it should be highlighted how young he is and how experienced he is for being so young. And also, in that Ring Magazine top 10, last time I checked it, he's got the highest knockout percentage. And I think he's the youngest. Maybe Justice Hooney's crept up into there now. But he's big, heavy hands. So, mate, I'm just hyped for this fight. It was great to see Daniel in good spirits, and roll on Wembley Fight Week.
Yeah, I think we're about 15 days away now. It's come round so fast, and it's just such a good event from top to bottom. Like, you get to the point where you're forgetting some of the fights because they're all so good. They could headline any card.
100%. Like, even this morning, like, because we did the 2-day press conference and media day where we interviewed all the fighters, and only just now those interviews have started coming out. So my interview with Liam Smith from like June, that's come out now. I'm like, oh wow, Liam Smith's fighting Josh Kelly. What a brilliant fight. My Kakachi interview come out. Kakachi's fighting Josh Warrington. What a brilliant fight. It's loaded. Willie Hutchinson against Buatsi as well. Oh, Willie Hutchinson, he's like a mix of Tyson Fury and Billy Joe Saunders. He's like this new version, this breath of fresh air in this light heavyweight division. He's absolutely bonkers, but he's so good. So let's see how he gets on against Josh Buatsi. Major test, and maybe the biggest test in both of their careers.
What fight, excluding the main event, has the potential to steal the night, do you think?
It could be that. Willie Hutchinson put on such a great performance before against Craig Richards. You'd argue that he beat Craig Richards better than Joshua Buatsi beat Craig Richards.
Why Joshua's only admission as well, Buatsi said that.
There you go, so don't ever go at me, Joshua Buatsi. No, you've covered me there. No, I like Buatsi. I think we get only complimented my trainers last time, so that was nice. I haven't got one.
No trainers, the nice suede
boots, they need a clean. But yeah, that could steal the show. Willie Hutchinson could steal the show. Hamza Shiraz could steal the show. He has a habit of doing that right now. He might be the best middleweight in the world. We don't know. Janibek might beat Janibek. We don't know what's going on with Janibek. Hamza Shiraz is really, really good. Tyler Denny's a test though. I've said this before, but it's obvious. Go and look at his box rec. Go and look at the records of the guys that he's beating. There's so many unbeaten Brits in there who think that they are going to go places and they're going to step over Tyler Denny to get there, and they don't. They can't get past him. Let's see if Hamza can, because he should, in theory, certainly according to him, he's not like those other guys. He made of sterner stuff. His record suggests he hits very hard. Tyler Denny doesn't really get hurt. Let's see.
Very topical at the moment as well, Liam Gallagher performing live. Yeah. It's just like, of all times as well, with Oasis getting back together, it's perfect.
Exactly that. Did you get Oasis tickets then? Were you trying to get them?
Of course I was trying. I've got a hookup. So.
You got a hookup? Come on, Joe Pugh, moving up in the world. Yeah, look, Oasis. Well, Liam Gallagher.
You're an Oasis fan.
I like a lot of their songs. When this whole thing started happening, that Liam Gallagher was going to be there, and then Oasis getting back together, I started listening to a few more. Live Forever, Don't Look Back in Anger, Wonderwall, all your classics.
Such a casual.
Stand By Me, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah. What else do I like? Champagne Supernova, that's a good one, isn't it? Yeah.
Half the World Away.
More of a Take That man, if I'm honest, mate. But yeah, Oasis are great.
Is there a possibility it could be Oasis, the two of them on the 21st? See, I don't think so, but His Excellency said on TalkSport the other day.
If anyone in the world can make that happen, it's His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. So I guess we'll all find out on the night.
Last one, Billy Joe Saunders done a couple of interviews earlier on in the week saying that he's looking to get back in the ring. He's in early negotiations with Chris EUBANK Jr. He wants a 2-fight deal with kind of a tune-up into that EUBANK fight. You mentioned Hutchinson being a little bit of a mix of Billy Joe and Tyson Fury. We need Billy Joe Saunders back, don't we? He'd be such a breath of fresh air in some ways. A bit controversial in others, but we love it.
I miss Billy Joe Saunders. I'll be honest with you. I have been a bit of a Billy Joe Saunders fanboy over the years. I'm a big fan. I think he's one of the best fighters that this country has ever produced. In that Canelo fight, he was doing well. He really was doing well. Canelo landed that shot, which just messed him up. But before that, I just remember that run that he went off of unbeaten Brits like John Ryder, Nick Blackwell, Chris EUBANK was part of it as well. That was quite the run. Then he beat Andy Lee, Lemieux, all of that, just brilliant. The video's been going around from the Willie Monroe. Remember the little press thing that they had where Willie Monroe and his mate were arguing with Billy Joe, knocked his cap off.
You was there, weren't you?
I wasn't there. I worked for Box Nation at the time, but I wasn't there. I think you can see Steve Lillis in the background, knocking about with the Box Nation mic. But amazing days. I'd love to see him come back, and I heard a couple of his interviews, the one with Umar and TalkSport. Hopefully we see it. British boxing needs characters, and he's one of the biggest characters we've ever seen.
EUBANK Jr. and Billy Joe Saunders, even now, is an absolute giant, isn't it?
I mean, it is. Like, I was there for those press conferences where it first happened, the first fight, where EUBANK's there, EUBANK's dad's there. Obviously, EUBANK's dad being EUBANK. Chris EUBANK.
Just the dad. Yeah, forget his name. Forgot his name.
Yeah, Frank's there, Billy Joe's there. And what I remember is when they were boxing on the same show, they were scheduled to box on the same show, and this was after Billy Joe had beaten him. And Chris EUBANK Jr. couldn't really, he didn't like that he'd lost or didn't accept the defeat. Billy Joe was saying, "I've got your O right here. Let me get your box rec up." He starts going through his box rec and said, "Win, win, 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 win. Lost. Billy Joe, I've done you, mate." Just brilliant. Great presser. Would love to see that fight again.
Dev, thank you very much. Tune in tomorrow night, live from New York. Sam Noes takes on Seglia. Thank you very much, mate.